Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movies 24/7. If you've watched before, thanks for coming back again. If you've never watched before, thanks for watching in the first place. Now, big fan of the original, and it's always weird when you do a sequel. Sometimes they hit it right on the money. They keep the theme, they keep the feeling, it's just as good. Sometimes sequel might even be better than the original. Godfather, Toy Story. Did Anchorman do that? Probably not. But anyway, we're going to get on to the reviews now. So Rick, tell me what you thought.
Well, I learned three important things. I learned that baseball is a game where Mexicans hit home runs. I've learned that on sunny days, a black guy follows me around Club Leon. And I've learned that you can't smoke crack on live TV.
It's a good one. The not smoking crack on live TV. I think a lot of us would be better off if more people knew that one. Yeah.
I think the movie, it was good, but I think the movie, the one part I almost kind of fell asleep on is it got a little slow, and I guess we can't do a spoiler alert there, but it got a little slow when something happened to Ron Burgundy there, and that kind of dragged out a little long for me.
Yeah.
That part, they could have shortened that part. I would have edited that down a little bit. The whole thing from the time something happened to him to the time when it didn't happen to him, I think was too long.
Definitely, I agree. I agree with that for sure. I mean, the thing about the movie for me is absolutely Will Ferrell stays in character, 100%. But there was an edge of absurdity that was going beyond absurdity for me, but it was still really funny. I enjoyed it. Would I, say everyone go see it? Yeah, I'd say go see it, because it's always better to see a movie in the movie theater, for me. And, from the perspective of, at first I thought, well, Christina Applegate, she's hanging in there, but she's spotty. She doesn't come in every single scene, which I was expecting more of from her. But she held her character, too, which I think was really important to do. And but I generally think that it's definitely a movie I'm glad I went to see, for sure.
Okay. I was disappointed. Now, obviously a lot of build-up because Anchorman was such a great film and everything. You always hope that the sequel's going to be just as good, maybe even better, and it never is. But what my big problem with this film was that it was almost like they just looked at the original and just tried to shoot a remake of that with different dialogue. I mean, they went back to a lot of the same tropes. They were really just trying to be a really bad version of themselves. They were just kind of throwing stuff in there. They were like, oh, well, this people laughed at this in the first one, so let's just do it as much as possible. And I felt like they were reaching to try and recreate it, and they just missed.
And that's where I'm saying, the absurdity was, going just a little bit too far. But they would always bring me back in.
Say something.
Hey everybody!
Gary's
Gary's with us now, everybody.
I liked the movie.
You liked it?
I liked it, and I didn't think the absurdity went far enough. I mean, that is the movie where I want to eat mushrooms and go with them. And it was. I thought it was great. It was fantastic, and Ron Burgundy is Ron Burgundy. I mean, my God, that is just an awesome movie. That was my review. Just go see it on mushrooms. And that's from Gary Menke.
We're giving it a scale of 1 to 5 something, right?
I'm giving it 4 mushrooms.
We're gonna rate the movie on 1 to 5 Baxters. My little China doll. So, how many Baxters are you gonna give it?
I'd give it a 3.5.
3.5 Baxters.
Yeah.
Ricky, what about you?
I say 3. 3 Baxters.
3. I'm gonna give it 2.5 Baxters. I really wish that it had been better. I'm not gonna lie. There were parts of it where I was laughing. I was really enjoying it. But most of that was just because of the ridiculousness, the absurdity, the jump-ins, right. the Steve Carell just out of nowhere, just like pickles, and everyone just laughs, And so there were funny parts. I can't say that it wasn't, but really, as a film, I felt it was really lacking. It dragged on way too long. It was an hour and a half movie stretched to a little over 2.
Well, like I said, I did laugh, which was good. There's certain parts, but that part I think was what made it too long. That part, if they cut that part down, it would have been more funny and less.
I always like when Will Ferrell talks under his breath. That's, for me, the funniest, because that just shows there's some humanness there. when you're doing that, when you're like, oh my goodness, you know, and he just has some funny line to say. I always enjoy that kind of, and he did that well. He always does that well. I mean,
Well-
he plays his part.
Well, okay. Guys, thanks so much for joining us here on We Watch Movies 24/7. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that way you always get our videos when they get freshly posted up.